Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm on PSVR 2, and the reason for that is that Alien a Rogue Incursion is currently very heavily discounted. It has been throughout the spring sale, and it's down from $32.99 to just $8.99. So the real question is it worth it at that price? Should you pick it up? Having played the game for an hour myself, I would say this feels like an absolute no-brainer. If you are a fan of the Alien series, then even more so. So as you can see, the vibe around us is very much in line with the kind of 80s industrial film itself, with the technology and of course the xenomorphs. It does feel like a good time for me in terms of the headset. So the PSVR 2 I only picked up at Christmas. It's quite late into its life cycle, which means that you can pick up games at knockdown prices. And it does mean that I felt a bit spoiled actually with the content that I've been able to play. So just finished Resident Evil Village, which is very polished, very atmospheric. I did play it on flat screen first. I kind of wish that I hadn't actually, because VR just adds to that whole level of immersion. We then have Hitman World of Assassination, very detailed sandboxes and a lot of fun. And on the realism side, we've then got Gran Turismo, which is just incredible if you can also then pick yourself up a bit of a racing rig as well, which I was able to do off Marketplace. So that then leads us on to Alien Rogue Incursion. The original sale price of $32.99. I'm expecting this to be a polished and immersive experience. And so we're going to jump in. I'm going to load up a new game. Options-wise, we've turned down the music a little bit so that you can hear me, hopefully. We're also going to be playing in the seated position. Nice options here. You got fixed chair, you got swivel chair. We got lots of different options, but essentially I'm going to be on smooth turn and I'm not going to have those blinders as we move around. So I'll try not to kind of look around too quickly so that the footage in flat screen isn't too janky, and also hopefully because PSVR 2 uses foveated rendering, hopefully the overall picture is nice and clear, because the what the headset will do is it will focus the main kind of graphics. We'll go into story mode here. It focuses the graphics based on your eye tracking. So as I move my eyes around the environment, this kind of sweet spot in the middle should be the clearest.
Salt deserts stay for the tolerably breathable atmosphere.
Got eyes on the surface? Any sign of carbon?
So we are on our
A magnetic storm is limiting visibility.
ship.
We are approaching the rendezvous point. Castor's Cradle should be coming into hailing range shortly.
Looks like we're
Transmit the landing codes.
dotted down. Feels like a thrill ride, this.
No response. Should
So
we decrypt the file?
hopefully we're sat in
No.
the sweet spot here.
Only supposed to decrypt the disk he sent if he
So we're going to have a full body rig
The rendezvous details. That's
in the
all.
game.
He dragged me off a battlefield I should have died on.
We got our robot pilot over there.
His employers will have questions about us, though. What do you want me to tell them?
VR's always a good medium for
Definitely can't say.
space kind of adventures.
AWOL Marines requesting landing at your covert facility to extract your chief of security.
I'll do the usual.
So graphically,
Joe routine.
quite nice.
Come in, Perdan. Requesting emergency permission to land.
Got some kind of shadow in there.
Jammed by some kind of interference.
Incoming! Damage report.
Starboard thruster at 50%. Engine
So
Can you get us close to the rendezvous point?
I can try.
we of course expect it not to go very smoothly, otherwise we wouldn't have much of a game.
Brace for impact.
And there's our introduction. Alien rogue incursion. So I did do a bit of research before. I know this isn't going to be like Isolation where you're hiding from the xenomorphs. You're going to be a space marine that's a little bit more well equipped, and I'm going to try and capture the first kind of half an hour or so.
What's our
Don't know what
status?
that shadowing's all about actually.
Suboptimal. Engines are critical with significant damage to several airflow valves. I'm still attempting to get sensors back online, but no sign of additional hostilities as of yet.
I'm not sure if that's good news.
It's a nice
or bad
crisp
news.
graphics.
We should be swarming with station security after that grand entrance.
It is possible we encountered automated defenses. I will attempt to make contact, but we need to do something about the engines. How's your back? Can you walk?
Let's find out.
Okay, so grab the bar, lift that up.
Seems like I'll be okay once I get a couple stems in me.
So as you can see,
Before our departure.
Find out what we dropped in on. I'll
got
patch
a
myself
body
in,
rig.
See what I can do about the engines.
Copy that. Go attend to your biological maintenance.
Biological maintenance.
So we've got a kind of wristwatch on that gives us some of our health indicators. As you can see, I'm on smooth turn. There we go. Probably, so I'm playing in a seated position, so apologies if the boundaries show up every now and again. That's one of the main things I've noticed, as I expected, going from Quest 3 to the PSVR, is that the PSVR is going to be powered by the PlayStation 5. So this isn't a Pro, playing on the standard PS5. Quest has really come on in leaps and bounds in terms of the graphics, but not obviously to this kind of standard. So we've got our stims here. We're being prompted to press L1 or L2 to extend the needle, and that gets us into the green.
Much better.
Pick the other one up, and we're going to holster that to our
Davis,
body.
come in. Got eyes on whatever's going on out there?
Not as of yet. But it appears the engine can be stabilized from the terminal in the engine room. The hallway is flooded with toxic gas. Give me a moment to find a way to clear it.
Copy. I'll see what intel Carver wanted us to have if he didn't make the rendezvous.
So press square or X. That's going to bring up your kind of gear, which will be silhouetted like this, which means that you can grab it like so. And dotted around are going to be these data cards. Not that one. Actually, we can't pick that one up at the moment. So press L2. That's going to extend it and give us our heads-up display. So you can see there that we've got our map of where we are in our current area, objectives, and our inventory.
Time for some answers.
So we haven't got the sidearm just yet. We do have the injectors, which I believe go into the wrist there, as you can see. And we should also, or we'll get later, and if you're familiar with the Alien films, the scanner, which is one of those really cool moments.
Hey Hendricks, guessing you've got a lot of questions right about now. I wanted to explain everything in person.
So this will play in the background, you don't need to hold it open.
But you'll need to come find the answers. This disk image will synchronize your data pad with GES's systems. Your tablet will be able to interface with the computer terminals here, and will contain a basic map of Castor's Cradle. I wish it was more, but I can't risk this message getting flagged. I'll have the rest of the intel with me, no matter what. Gemini Exoplanet Solutions and BG Swift need to be exposed, Zula. I'm sorry for all this, but there's no one else I can trust to make the hard choices. The same ones I failed to make. I need to make this right.
Okay, so
Asia,
we're getting a bit
everything away to do the right thing.
of the backstory there.
Me trying to catch up to you.
Jesus, Ben.
Nice bit of the shadow on the wall there, which includes that hand movement. These are the nice little touches that add to immersion in VR, aren't they? You got interactable objects with some physics. Don't know whether they break or not. No. Yeah. It's got some nice interactions there. The body rig helps you feel like you're part of the game. I remember on Batman on the Quest, everybody quite rightly going, the shadow of the cape when you walk in is one of those moments. All the little things in VR. That's what adds to the immersion. So again, not button presses, all very tactile interaction so far. I believe the total playthrough time is somewhere in the region of 8 hours or so. And it's going to be 2 parts. So this is part 1.
Engine room's full bar.
Can you get to the engine terminal?
On it.
And yeah, no sign of part 2 just yet. When I read about that, it kind of made me worry a bit, because Jurassic Park on the Quest felt like a really good, seemed tailor-made, didn't it, for VR, immersing yourself in the world, and then they went for this like cel-shaded art style, which made it feel really cartoony, and it took away a bit of the immersion of the kind of sense of peril. So we got these nice kind of very 80s type of hardware type stuff.
The vent entrance should be near the floor, just ahead of you to the right of the terminal.
So we've vented. If you do drop something, then there is a bit of a kind of teleport grabbing of your key items. So you can crouch. So we have on our, it's pretty standard button mapping actually, on our left thumbstick, we're going to be able to move a bit quicker. I don't think there is a jump button, other than once you later on in the game have to jump across something. As long as you're on the fast movement, that will be an automated action. So we need to duck down here, which is pressing down on our right thumbstick. So again, vents and stuff, it's key to the Alien franchise, isn't it? The smoke, all these different bits.
Looks like the return housing is cracked.
Can you close it off?
Yeah,
So some basic puzzle solving.
got the O2 locked off.
You're not talking about red matter.
In the cargo hold. Turn around, take a left at the intersection.
We're talking about immersing yourself into the world of Aliens. And as I say, certainly I can only comment on my playthrough so far, which is about an hour.
Engines require further stabilization. It will take significant repairs before the ship is fit to fly again.
And actually, I say about an hour, it's probably more like 2 or 3.
Encountered the same long-range jamming that blocked
And that, for me, is the sign of a good game.
So, we're stranded. What's the situation outside the ship?
No sign of Carver, nor anyone else, for that matter. Scanners turned up nothing aside from magnetic interference. The conditions here are perfect for covering illicit activity.
Time to find some answers the old-fashioned way then. Keep an eye out for Carver, or anyone else for that matter. I'll do a quick survey of the area and report back.
If we have no choice but to separate, let's at least ensure your gear is fully functional. Can you check your motion tracker for damage?
So here's our introduction to the motion tracker. So we're going to grab that from our elbow here.
It can still pick up nearsighted scents, at least.
Cute. I stowed your rifle in the compartment up here.
So if you have watched the Alien films, you'll be very familiar with this. One thing I would say is, and I don't know whether I capture this in the first video or maybe do a follow-up, but the introduction to the Xenomorphs I think could have been a little bit more, what's the word, kind of cinematic, in that I know I'm playing on story mode because I want to kind of experience the game, and that's my general approach.
Stowed in the compartment up here.
It is. Is that on the other kind of games, you do feel a little bit more under peril, should I say? So I think they probably could have balanced it a little bit better. And again, I'm conscious that I'm saying this when I've chosen story mode, but the xenomorphs.
Your rifle is stowed in the compartment up here.
Yeah, the rifle is stowed in the compartment. Let's go get it then. Sorry, I was saying is that they can be not mega challenging to dispatch. That was the pit that we already went in. So this was the medical bay, and once we get into the game proper,
Rifle is stowed in the compartment up here.
okay, I better go and get that. Yeah, there'll be save points dotted around. So again, another
Pulse rifle, check.
You'll find ammo in the compartment to the
hark back to the actual film, which is really cool, is the pulse rifle. You got some nice, it tracks well. We got a nice mechanic here, which will be
Davis,
taken through, I'm sure.
Why'd you unload my rifle?
Proper firearm safety is important when the unexpected occurs, like during crash landings.
Well, look at you, Mr. Regulations.
So, circle to eject the clip,
That's everything.
physical movements, put it on,
I'll radio you if the situation
cock the
changes.
gun. We can see the amount of bullets that we have. We stow that over our shoulder, and we can pull that from over our shoulder, grip, aim down the sights, as you'd expect. Once you've got the other hand grip on, you can't tilt the weapon. Not sure why you'd want to actually, but that's quite cool to. But yeah, that steadies your aim. And although we said about the xenomorphs not being as challenging as they perhaps could be, there is that sense of dread. So the environmental elements, and particularly the sound, I've playing with some earphones in for that spatial audio, do really add to it. So there'll be lots of different noises, and they'll scutter around the vents and come kind of out of nowhere. There'll be a bit of music that prompts you that there's going to be a bit of an action sequence. I don't mind that at all. And that aligns quite nicely that once the threat's been gone, you'll return to just the ambient noises and whatnot. So we are crashed. We're going to need to exit the craft.
It appears our door sustained damage in the crash as well.
It would appear that way.
Nothing is going to plan today. What do we do about it?
It's possible the lever is not sending the signal to disengage the electromagnetic lock circuit.
So, we just have to break the circuit then.
I do not like the way you're saying that.
So a couple of other things. They do get picked up in the tutorial, but if you reach over your left shoulder and hit the trigger on the bottom of the controller, you'll have a little torchlight. We will also, a little bit later on in the game, get a sidearm, which is a revolver, and the reload mechanics on that are quite nice in that we kind of empty the magazine, put the bullets in, and then snap the magazine back in. So we're going to use brute force for this.
Zula, really? Fire inside the ship.
You can see there that we can see the number of bullets left.
Fair enough. I will overlook the joy in your voice for the sake of expediency.
Thanks. I'll be back when I have some answers.
And so, here's our introduction to the main aesthetic of the Alien universe. As you can see, it's kind of a military base on a snowy planet. When the wrist tracker lights up and beeps, there is new information on the datapad. Press square or X. Let's grab it. And we can expand on that, and you can see that so objectives, we need to locate the main point of ingress. Intel are the data logs that we pick up on the way through, and inventory. You can see there that we now have the pulse rifle. We got some ammo added, and this will be the sidearm that we will pick up a little bit later. And then we got a map that will show us in real time as we move around the environment. So again, just holster those by putting them into our body rig. So we've got, let's say, full body rig. And as you'd expect, we kind of shepherded a little bit towards where you need to be. But very atmospheric.
Shit! Lock-ins. Good excuse as any to double check my sidearm.
So there we go, we're being prompted to check the sidearm. So this is the revolver. So the cylinder, tip it down. I'm going to pick up our ammunition, pop them in, snap it back, and there we go. So if we had any left there, that will disappear actually. If you want to reload, then you can pick up the half-empty magazines and pop them back into your storage. You will have a limit to what you can carry. So I did find that on the story mode, there was plenty of stims around. I think you can carry 2 at any one time. Ammunition again, you can only carry a certain amount. So I just wanted to kind of experience the game as a whole. I don't think I came down this bit originally. I didn't. So worth a bit of a detour because we've got some extra ammunition.
There's lots of stuff on lockdown here.
A security response to our arrival, perhaps?
If that was the case, this place would be swarming with security by now. You don't hire a bunch of ex-Marines like Carver just to observe and report.
That's very true. So lockers dotted around. You will, again, as you go through the playthrough, and I do think there'll be a bit of looping back around involved, is you will pick up different levels of security key card, which we can unlock some of the lockers. If they are red like that, they're locked. We need green to unlock them. This one looks like it's fried anyway. We're not going to be getting in there, but some of them we can access with our scanner. So it doesn't work on those type of ones. So yeah, worth a little wander around off the beaten path. Makes the world feel a little less linear. And I do apologise, as I say, if I'm trying not to be too erratic with my movements, because although it's smooth in the headset for me, on the flat screen it might be a little bit jarring. So I'm just going to have a little wander around and make sure there's nothing more of interest. And only VR can immerse you in this way. And actually, in terms of the kind of content that I was looking for, I like to have a diverse library where I can. So we're not able to get in there at the moment, but if I just grab my scanner,
No chance of opening this.
you'll see that it'll say access denied. So yes, having played Resident Evil, had Rogue Incursion been a kind of really stealth-based game, it would have been quite similar. So this, for me, kind of sits in between that kind of game and just an out-and-out shooter. So it feels like it fills a nice little gap. I can play it seated. I'd have to wave my arms around or be too.
Emergency lockdown protocols are in effect. PDT keycard required for entry to main facility.
Davis, come in. Something serious went down here. Main gate's locked. Any way around it?
Looks like there is an additional entry point in the garage. But you may encounter similar issues if the facility is locked down.
Copy that. I'll keep an eye out for a keycard while I try the garage.
So I don't know whether this picks up in...
Can't get in here without a PDT keycard.
on the flat screen. There's a little bit of blurring as I move around. And one thing that I would say about the headset as well is whenever I put it on, it is worth checking for the sweet spot, because you've got the IPD, the interpupillary distance, I want to say it's called. It's easy to pick your headset up and find that you've moved that button without realizing. So if you do put it on and it's particularly blurry, it is about finding that perfect position on your head. So at first, when I picked one up when I was trying this, because I got it off Marketplace, having been used to being able to plop a Quest 3 on, I was a bit concerned, if I'm being honest, about how much I'd need to adjust it.
Around here falls short of safety code.
Unfortunate for them, but it could be an opportunity for ingress.
But it's been fairly easy. So I think we should be at our full complement of meds now. So this should, because we're probably about half an hour or so into the video.
7-8P. Avoid interference.
It should introduce us to one of the game's mechanics. So blocked doors around the environments will be broken circuits like this. So it's fairly simple. Is that we got this tool that stops us from getting electrocuted to attach and detach wires. Currency is going to go along and light into green. That one's not connected anywhere at the moment. Grab that,
Open sesame.
pop it in there. We've got a full circuit. Doors are open. And we can hear what sounds like a xenomorph somewhere around. So what we will have as well,
Lockdown protocols are in effect. Override controls are located at nearest panic room.
we're going to have panic rooms dotted around.
This is why Castor's Cradle needed panic rooms.
Allegedly, this is a mining and research facility that developed prosthetics. I suspect that may have been a cover story.
So same principle, we need to get the green current going through. That's not currently attached anywhere. That one's going to need to go down there, isn't it? Whoops. Will that go down there? And we should be able to then take this one out, pop that one in there. And this then is how we save the game. So dotted around the different habitats, we'll have panic rooms. And we can dock our data pad. Oops, not that one. Square button, grab that. And
Pad accepted. Releasing
That-
nearby door controls. Please wait.
that,
I've analyzed the intel Carver sent us. The datapad alone grants limited access to the facility. An employee's PDT keycard will be needed for more than a cursory search.
No sign of Carver yet. I'll have to find someone else's then.
so as you can see, we're on easy mode. It's been quite generous. I did notice this on my initial playthrough. There are some bits dotted around these surfaces in particular, where there's that really bad stutter. Can't say I've noticed it a lot, but particularly in this panic room, the first one, it is quite noticeable. So we can then put our data pad over here, and we can have a look for messages. So quite a bit of data in terms of backstory. I won't be too interested in that just now. So we'll take our data pad with us. So there is a brief introduction to Alien Rogue Incursion. We've not actually encountered a xenomorph just yet, but I don't want to make the videos massively long. So how would I sum it up? I'd say it does a very good job of immersing you into the Aliens universe. Graphically, really good. Not kind of top tier like your Red Matters of the world. There is obviously going to be some combat action The xenomorphs are going to come at you from different angles, but you are a Marine, so you're pretty well equipped to deal with them. So rather than a stealth-based game, it's going to be a shooter, but you've got some nice pacing around that. Certainly for the first hour that I've had, it's not that there's waves and waves of aliens running at you. When I read some of the reviews, that's what I was kind of a bit worried about, is that's not my type of game. I don't want just manic shooters. I like to explore the environments a little bit and take things in, which I'm glad to say I have been able to do on the game with my playthrough so far. There's some light puzzle solving. We're going to be basically going around the habitats looking for different levels of security of keycard. Wondered what that was then. It's that synth outside. And yeah, it's got a really nice aesthetic to it. It's definitely heavily reminiscent of the Aliens universe. You can see there we got the kind of, oh, there's our first one. So right on cue, we will get to see a xenomorph after all. So we'll wait till it gets a bit closer.
So this is why you called us, Carver. Davis, I've got bad news. We've got X-rays.
There are xenomorphs down there. Where are you? I'll meet you immediately.
No, I need you working on the ship if we're gonna leave in a hurry.
Very well. Be careful, Zula.
So actually that worked out quite well. That kind of gives us a nice summary of the game there, is that I knew to expect that. There are some kind of jump scares where the xenomorphs will jump out. There's a bit of a musical cue beforehand, so you know something's about to happen. I'm on story mode. They're not overly challenging. There are some nice touches, so if you don't shoot them quick enough, they will spray acid, much like the films. They do kind of dissolve as well. And them scuttering around the environment does add to that sense of immersion. So overall, I'd say a very, very good game. As I say, I played about an hour, maybe two, and a lot of that involved wandering around because I couldn't work out where I needed to get the key card from. So that's going to be my next bit of the playthrough. For me, this is a really easy recommend at $8.99. The subscriptions, I've signed up to them. They're very light indeed on VR content, which is a bit of a shame, really. There's not many trials either that you can do for PSVR 2. It's onto its life cycle. There's criticism about it not being supported, and so you'd think they'd really want to open that up a little bit, and it does seem that they've tried to do that with the spring sale. So there's lots and lots of titles on there. I think there's 140 in total. It really depends what you're into, and I would have played a lot of the games on the Quest 3, and it didn't feel worth spending that extra money to then experience them on the PSVR 2, albeit that I would have got improved graphical performance. So I'm trying to stick to things that I haven't done before on the Quest 3. It's been nice to get back into VR, into the VR world, and I'm very, very excited for the free VR support from Microsoft, Flight Simulator 2024, which we're told is going to land in April. No date yet, but very eager to jump into that. And in the meantime, I am going to go and wander my way around this wonderful facility. I will capture some more video. I'm not going to talk through it because I just wanted to give my impressions of the game. There'll be lots and lots of reviews out there, but if you'd like to join me as I play through the game, then please do. And of course, if you hit the subscribe button, then you'll be prompted when there's new content on there. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, hope you'll join me for the rest of the journey.